Before we start, we need your like so that YouTube can continue to recommend our videos and to encourage us to bring even more stories and adjust our scripts and narrations. That said, let's watch the video.
Many years ago, on a remote planet called Vegeta, a child with incredible potential would be born. It was Goku, also known as Kakarot, the Saiyan prodigy. Since his birth, Goku would show an amazing ability for combat and an insatiable appetite to learn and improve. Not only was his power what stood out, arousing the envy of the Saiyans, but also his great intellect and wisdom. As he grew up, Goku would become an exceptional fighter. He surpassed his Saiyan companions in all combat disciplines and would earn the respect of his father, Bardock, a renowned warrior on the planet Vegeta. Goku would also develop an insatiable thirst for knowledge about his origin and the legends of the Saiyans. One day, a friend of Frieza, the fearsome space tyrant, would arrive on the planet Vegeta in search of new recruits for his army. Frieza had heard of the prodigious Goku and wanted to recruit him for his cause, although this would not please his parents. "But why can't I go?" I would ask little Goku. "Son, you don't understand. It is not a job worthy of you," I would say Bardock. "Your father is right, it is very dangerous for you," I would say Janae. "Just stay on the planet. You have everything you need." "Is it because of the legend of the Super Saiyan?" I would ask Goku. Janae and Bardock would observe each other. They did not know how to respond to that. "It's complicated," I would say Janae, off. "Kakarot, you have to know the truth. You are too strong and you know it. But if you show all your power, Frieza could eliminate you," I would say Bardock. "What are you talking about?" I would say Goku. "I do not trust anyone who is stronger than the Special Forces Ginyu," I would say Bardock. "That is why we do not want you to belong to his army," I would say Janae. "You can stay working in the field." "Working in the field is for losers," I would say Goku seriously. "I want to know the universe, fight strong people, and show the pride of Saiyans." "Kakarot, understand it. You are just a child and you are the strongest Saiyan of all," I would say Bardock. "As you grow up, you will be stronger. You can be stronger than the Special Forces Ginyu." "Then I will be stronger than Frieza," I would say Goku. "No, do not be stupid," I would say Janae. "What? If I get stronger than Frieza, he won't be able to hurt me?" I would say Goku. "Frieza has a transformation. We don't even know how strong he is," I would say Bardock. "Really?" I would say Goku, disconcerted. "It's true. His second form is just like his father, King Cold," I would say Janae. "Son, please don't do it. We don't want anything to happen to you." "I'm sorry, but it's my wish, so they won't be able to stop me," I would say Goku. Even so, despite the warnings of his parents, Goku would go ahead with his desire to join the forces of Frieza. Goku, intrigued by the idea of exploring the universe, would accept the offer and leave with the emissary aboard a spaceship. As he traveled through space, Goku would encounter new challenges and enemies that put his skills to the test. His thirst for knowledge would lead him to investigate the mysteries of the Dragon Balls and the legends about a wish capable of granting anything. Over time, Goku would invade new planets for good pay, standing out as a great warrior for his results. Finally, after a few years, Goku would become an adult and be called by Frieza. I wonder what he wants, I would think of Goku. Goku would arrive at Frieza's office, where he was with several soldiers, including Kikono and Berry Blue, who were his right-hand men. The special forces were also there, Ginyu. I can't believe it. There are these 5 fools, I would think of Goku. Kakarot, I'm glad you came, I would say Frieza, as he floated in his seat. Grand Frieza, I'm here to serve you, I would say Goku. You have made me earn a lot of money during this time. Your power is incredible, and you have never caused me any problems. Because of your loyalty, I have decided to promote you, I would say Frieza. Promote me? I would say Goku, confused. Sorry, Grand Frieza, but I don't understand. I have the highest position as an invader. Don't be stupid. There is one more position, I would say Frieza, observing the Special Forces Ginyu. Grand Frieza, are you talking about integrating him with us? I would ask Captain Ginyu. Of course. I thought it was more than obvious, I would say Frieza. Being a member of the Special Forces Ginyu? I would say Goku, disconcerted. Is there a problem? I would ask Frieza. I just don't want to do those ridiculous steps, I would say Goku. Hey, they're not ridiculous. They are what identify us as elite warriors, I would say Geese. Heavens, I don't want to do those poses, I would think of Goku. Kakarot, don't worry about that. Poses are the least, I would say Frieza. I'm just interested in you being with people of your status. Well, for me, it's fine, I would say Goku. None of the members of the Special Forces Ginyus were satisfied with the idea. It was more than clear. Do you have a problem? I would ask Frieza. Of course not, sir, I would say Captain Ginyu. Well then, give him one of his uniforms so that he joins his troops, I would say Frieza. Of course, right away, I would say Captain Ginyu. In this way, Goku would go on a trip with the Special Forces Ginyu. He would give him a uniform of them that contained the same logo. Well, it doesn't look that bad, I would say Goku. Hey, I can't believe we have a Saiyan, I would say Birder. Goku's expression would make Birder uncomfortable. Did I offend you with my comment? I would ask Birder. Don't worry, Birder. He is a member of the Special Forces Ginyu. You have to respect him as such, I would say Captain Ginyu. Whatever. Where are we going to invade? I would ask Goku. Invade together or separately? We always go together, although we are a force that does not invade too much. We only accept complex jobs, I would say Captain Ginyu. How complex can it be to invade a planet? I would ask Goku. Is it to go kill people? And that's it? The planet we have to visit has increased gravity. None of Frieza's soldiers can go, I would say Reckon. Why so much? Because all the planets I know have less gravity than Vegeta's planet, I would say Goku. Huh, Vegeta's planet is nothing, I would say Captain Ginyu. Let me figure it out. According to this scale and the measure of Vegeta's planet and the Clume planet, yes, it is 20 times more. 20 times? More than Vegeta's planet? I would say Goku, disconcerted. Heavens, it must be difficult to walk around there. Oh, I want to go now. Don't you think? Well, Captain Ginyu has 135,000 fighting power, while we walk for 55,000, I would say Geese. Less than Gordo's dwarf, who has 13,500, I would say Reckon, making fun of Gordo. Hey, have more respect. My power does not go into brute force, I would say Gordo. It's true, you have magical powers, I would say Goku. Fool, they're not magical powers. They are special abilities, I would say Gordo. For me, it's the same, I would say Goku. Hey, Frieza said this guy is very strong. Let's see how much, I would say Geese. Geese would use his radar on Goku. He would be impressed to see the amount of 65,000 fighting power. It is not true, I would say Geese, terrified. The other members would see Goku's fighting power on their radars. They would be amazed because he was stronger than them. Less than Captain Ginyu, although he respected him for it. It is not true. I would say, reckon, annoying. Hey, how did you cheat? I would say, Geese. Cheat with what? I would say, Goku. Now I understand why Frieza wanted it with us. I would say, Captain Ginyu. Anyway, we have to go to the planet Gloom. In this way, Goku and the Special Forces Ginyu would depart on a trip to the planet Gloom. Meanwhile, Frieza was about to unleash his true plans. Great Frieza, I do not understand why you want to keep that Kakarot. I would say Berry Blue. It is very simple. I value your power. You get warriors like him, I would say Frieza. Now that he is with the Special Forces Ginyu, I will be able to destroy his planet without any problem. I understand, I would say Berry Blue. Frieza would leave his ship soon to destroy the planet Vegeta. These Saiyans caused me a lot of problems. It's time to get rid of them, I would say Frieza. Frieza would throw a large ball of ki towards the planet Vegeta. The Saiyans would try to sustain the attack. They would each launch several attacks of ki, but Frieza's ki ball had so much power that it was impossible. Finally, the planet Vegeta would completely disappear while Frieza enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for your services, I would say Frieza. Goku and the Special Forces Ginyu would reach the planet Gloom. Gudo had serious problems to sustain himself. Damn, it's too much, I would say Gudo. I feel the weight, but I don't think it's that much, I would say Reckon. Gudo, a little training is not bad for you, so take advantage of it, I would say Captain Ginyu. Luckily, I'm small, I would say Gudo. Goku would fly away, taking the initiative. Hey, where are you going? I would say Geese. Leave him. The important thing is to have him distracted, I would say Captain Ginyu. I don't understand, I would say Geese. Did you come all the way here and it was just a trap for him? I would say Berther. Something like that. You'll find out, I would say Captain Ginyu. Goku would begin to devastate the planet. The difficulty of the increased gravity, although it was a challenge, would only delay Goku. He would be able to defeat each of the planet's warriors without any problem. Ginyu's special forces would take their own path, and in a matter of hours, the planet would be conquered. Everyone would gather ready to leave. Very well, this was a hard job, I would say Captain Ginyu. Wow, moving in these conditions was a good workout, I would say Goku. Goku was jumping, showing off his energy, while Gordo was on the ground. Reckon, Geese, and Berther were tired. They felt agitated. Besides, they were upset with Goku because he looked better than them. Damn, this guy is a braggart. I would think Geese. Suddenly, the warning of the destruction of the planet Vegeta would reach everyone. Frieza had sent the message that a sudden asteroid had hit the planet. No, it can't be, Goku would say, disconcerted. Kakarot, was your family on the planet? Captain Ginyu would ask. That's right, they finished a mission, I would say Goku. I can't believe it, I'll never see them again. Goku would compress his fists as his ki increased. He felt great impotence. Ginyu's Special Forces radars marked how his fighting power increased even to 100,000 power. If I had been there, I would have destroyed that asteroid before, I would say Goku. His fighting power?
I would say Geese, disconcerted. This guy is not normal at all, I would say Reckon. Something tells me that this Saiyan can be even stronger, Captain Ginyu would seriously think. Hours later, Goku and the others would return with Frieza with the news that they conquered the planet Glom. Very well done. Here is your payment, I would say Frieza by giving his money to everyone. Goku looked really serious. Oh, Kakarot, how sorry about your planet, I would say Frieza. I think some Saiyans survived, including your brother Raditz. I don't talk to my brother, I would say Goku. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, I would say Frieza. Grand Frieza, I need to take a vacation, I would say Goku. What vacation? I would say Frieza seriously. Hey, you can't ask for vacation, you just joined us, I would say Geese. Geese, keep quiet, I would say Captain Ginyu. Okay, I guess you shouldn't be okay, I would say Frieza. You can take your vacation, I appreciate it, I would say Goku. Goku would leave there since he had something in mind. If the Dragon Spheres really exist, I have to use them to revive the planet Vegeta, I would think Goku. After the devastating news of the destruction of the planet Vegeta, Goku would leave on his spaceship to space, looking for answers and a goal, to find the Dragon Spheres. His desire to revive his home planet and his family propelled him to embark on this tireless search. Goku was determined to revive his planet. Supposedly, the Earth is where the Dragon Spheres are. I always wondered if they existed, but now I have no choice but to go there and find out, I would say Goku. As he traveled through space, Goku doubted whether an asteroid had really destroyed his planet. An asteroid could not destroy the planet Vegeta, at least not an ordinary one, I would say Goku. I just hope it wasn't an attack. Days later, Goku would arrive on Earth. He had no clue about the Dragon Spheres. The only information he had was that they were 7 yellow spheres numbered with orange stars. This planet looks very nice, I could sell it well, I would say Goku. Although I don't like to attack him if he has the Dragon Spheres. I think I prefer to have a low profile. Goku would take an orange combat uniform to go unnoticed. He knew that if someone recognized his Frieza army uniform, they would not give him information about the Dragon Spheres. Very well, here I go, I would say Goku. Goku would fly at full speed. He would arrive in the central city where people would be terrified to see him fly. Goku would approach a man to ask him about the Dragon Spheres, but he would run away from the scare. What's wrong with him? Goku would ask confused. That guy was flying. Are you talking about me? Can't you fly? I would say Goku. Look, he has a tail. He's a monster, I would say another subject when pointing it out. Hey, what's wrong with my tail? I would say offended. Goku would continue to travel the city, but when he flew, he only scared everyone. I see that on this planet people are not used to flying, I would say Goku. Life must be very difficult here. In a moment, Goku would be surrounded by the army. All the officers would surround him. Among them was Krillin, who as Odysseus, this was also a soldier. Hands up, one of the officers would say. Above what? I would say Goku. Goku did not look impressed at all. He considered the military ridiculous. Stop bothering me.
Do you know anything about the Dragon Spheres or not? I would say Goku. Goku would begin to advance, and one of the soldiers would shoot. Goku would hold the bullet in his hands. Really? They are far behind in armament. I would say Goku. He caught the bullet. I would say, Krillin! Seriously, he is not an ordinary subject. After that, all the soldiers would shoot their weapons. Goku would move from side to side, dodging each of the bullets as if nothing. Suddenly, Krillin would appear on one side and shoot him in the head.
Goku would receive the impact and complain about the pain. Damn, that hurt, I would say Goku, rubbing his head. Krillin, what are you doing? I would say one of the soldiers. I'll take care of it, I would say Krillin. We are facing a warrior of the martial arts. Hey, do you fight too? I would ask Goku. That's right. I see that this situation is very simple for you, I would say Krillin. Krillin, they are going to kill you, I would say another of the soldiers. Hey, where are you coming from? It is not normal to see humans with tail flying, I would say Krillin. Yes, well, I'm looking for the dragon spheres, I would say Goku. Dragon spheres? What are those things? I would ask Krillin. Well, they say they fulfill wishes and I have to revive my planet. That's why I'm looking for them here, I would say Goku. Revive your planet? I would ask Krillin. What planet are you from? Heavens, I shouldn't say it's the planet Vegeta. Our only activity was to invade planets for Frieza, I would think Goku. I come from the planet Sadala, I would say Goku. A great asteroid destroyed it, so I want to rebuild it. How much I regret that. I don't know anything about that, but I have a friend who is an expert in those things. I can take you with her, I would say Krillin. Well, I would say Goku, although before I would like to know how strong you are. I haven't had a real fight in a long time, I would say Krillin when he puts on guard. Of course, sounds good, I would say Goku. Krillin would throw everything at Goku. I would attack him with a series of consecutive blows with such speed that the military could not believe it. It can't be. Krillin is very strong, I would say one of the military. Goku and Krillin would rise to the top of the sky while exchanging blows. Krillin can fly? I would say one of the military, astonished. I knew he wasn't a normal boy, but he was saving that. I would say another of the military. Damn, he's very weak. I have to be careful not to kill him. Otherwise, I won't be able to find the Dragon Balls. I would think Goku. At one point, Goku would hammer Krillin. He would fall to the ground hitting hard. Heavens, I'm sorry, I would say Goku. Krillin would stand up with difficulty. He was very sore. Wow, you're really strong, I would say Krillin. Come on, I'll take you with my friend. Well, I would say Goku. Goku and Krillin would fly to the Capsule Corporation to meet Bulma. There they would find Jocko. Krillin, what a surprise! I didn't expect you today. Who is your friend? I would say Bulma. Wow, she's hot, I would think Goku. He is someone who comes from a planet that was destroyed and needs to know something about the Dragon Balls, I would say Krillin. Goku would see Jocko. He would recognize his Galactic Patrol uniform. Damn this dwarf from the Galactic Patrol. I can't let him recognize me, I would think Goku. Hey, you're not a Terracle, I would say Jocko. I can see that you have a monkey tail. Oh no. Well, we are a race like humans, but with another evolution, I would say Goku. My name is Bulma. What's your name? I would ask Bulma. A name. Think fast, Kakarot. I would think Goku. My name is Goku. Goku would talk to Bulma about the Dragon Balls. Although she did not know anything about the subject, she would start investigating. Krillin would return to his work, while Jocko would say goodbye to continue with his routine in space. Bulma, among her artifacts that she would find on her travels around the world, would capture one of the Dragon Balls. It was the 4-star one. I cannot believe it. It's that, Goku would say, amazed. Wow, I did not think it was the 7. I thought it was just a pearl with a particular shape, Bulma would say. Give me a few hours and I'll see what I can do. Bulma would develop a radar from the Dragon Ball. That way she would be able to read everyone else. Wow, you're very smart, Goku would say. Did you make that radar yourself? Not at all. I'm the smartest woman in the world, Bulma would say. Now, with this, you can find it. I just hope it's true about the magic dragon. Great! You are very kind, Goku would say. Hey, can I go with you? Bulma would ask. I'm very curious to see that dragon. Sure, come with me, Goku would say. Bulma and Goku would use her ship and travel around the Earth in search of the Dragon Balls. They would travel different paths while facing challenges to locate them. While they were doing it, Bulma would be interested in Goku, although she would not tell him. Instead, Goku found Bulma very attractive, but he was not interested in formalizing a relationship, since he was a warrior who was dedicated to invading planets. Meanwhile, Frieza continued to invade planets until he found out about Goku's presence on planet Earth. How is that he's on Earth? Frieza would ask, disconcerted. That's right, we managed to track his ship and he's been there for several days, Berry Blue would say. Will he want to conquer a planet for himself? Kiko would say. No, if he does that, I will eliminate him, Frieza would say. Berry Blue ordered the Special Forces Ginyu to go to Earth, investigate what he's doing. As you command, Great Frieza, Berry Blue would say. Moments later, the Special Forces Ginyu would be aware of Frieza's order and would go for Goku. On the other hand, Jocko was very curious about Goku's race, especially his tail. Races like humans on Earth don't have a tail. At least the versions I've seen don't have it. Jocko would search the database until he found the Saiyan race. I knew it! It's a Saiyan! Jocko would say. Wait a minute! He talked about a destroyed planet. Jocko would continue investigating and find out about planet Vegeta. He would be terrified to find out about Goku's origin. I can't believe it. Goku works for Frieza, like all the inhabitants of planet Vegeta, Jocko would say, terrified. I have to warn Bulma. Jocko would call Bulma as soon as possible to give him the warning. Damn, Bulma answers. This guy is a murderer, Jocko would say. Hi, what do you want, Jocko? Bulma would say. Bulma, I have something important to tell you, Jocko would say. Is it important? I'm with Goku looking for the Dragon Balls, Bulma would say. It can't be, Jocko would think, terrified. Is this your friend with weird eyes? Goku would say. Yes, that one. Bulma would say. What did you want to tell me, Jocko? No, nothing. Then Jocko would say, and cut the call. Damn. If I tell you in front of Bulma, he will eliminate her, Jocko would say, worried. Jocko would travel to Earth as soon as possible in search of a solution, while the Special Forces Ginyu were nowhere to be found. What do we do then? Do we kill him or investigate him? Geese would ask. The Great Frieza was not happy at all, but he did not order to eliminate him either. If we see that he is trying something weird, we will eliminate him, and that's it, Captain Ginyu would say. And if we better kill him and say that he wanted to conquer the Earth, Birder would ask. After all, we do not like anything. Yes, I think it will be the best, Captain Ginyu would say. Then Goku and Bulma would get the 7 Dragon Spheres. Wow, I cannot believe they really exist, Bulma would say. Try to call that dragon god. I want to see him. Of course, Goku would say. Supposedly, you only have to say a few words. Let's put it to the test. Goku would place the 7 Dragon Spheres on the ground. These would begin to shine as if they responded to each other. Heavens, it's as if they were alive, Bulma would say. Get out of there, Shenlong, Goku would say. The Dragon Spheres would shine and Shenlong would emerge, darkening the sky. I cannot believe it. It's true, Bulma, disconcerted, would say. Tell me what your wish is. I can fulfill anything, Shenlong would say. I wish you rebuild the planet Vegeta, Goku would say. Shenlong's eyes would shine, but he would not fulfill the wish. "I'm sorry, I can fulfill that wish, but it would not make sense," Shenlong would say. "You'll have to ask for something else." "What happens?" Bulma would say, confused. "Hey, if you can fulfill my wish, do it. How is that it does not make sense?" Goku would say seriously. "Because if I revive your planet, it will be destroyed again," Shenlong would say. "Frieza destroyed that planet, and if he returns, he will do it again." "Who is Frieza?" Bulma would say, confused. "You're lying. Frieza would not do that," Goku would say. "Then I will revive your planet, but you cannot ask for that wish again. I can only revive things once," Shenlong would say. "You can find a solution so that Frieza does not destroy the planet anyway. The Dragon Spheres will be available in a year," Shenlong would explain very seriously. After hearing Shenlong's revelations, Goku would remain silent, processing the information. The idea that Frieza could destroy his lethal planet again filled him with fury and determination. However, he also understood the reality of the situation. Reviving the planet Vegeta without a solution to stop Frieza would be useless. "I understand what Shenlong says. Do not revive my planet. I need time to think about how to prevent Frieza from destroying it again," Goku would say seriously. Bulma, still confused by the situation, would approach Goku. "Who is Frieza? Why would he want to destroy your planet?" Bulma would ask. "It's not time to talk about that," Goku would say seriously. "Wait, you told Jaco that you wanted to revive the planet Sadala. Now you go out with the planet Vegeta," Bulma would say. "Tell me the truth." "If that's all, I must go," Shenlong would say. Shenlong would disappear, returning the Dragon Spheres to stone, although he would not fulfill any wish. Goku still did not answer Bulma's question. "I was thinking about Frieza and how to handle the situation." Goku's ki would begin to increase little by little due to the anger that ran through his body. "Damn Frieza," Goku would think furiously. "Hey, I asked you a question and you're going to answer me," Bulma would say. Suddenly, Jaco would arrive at full speed. As soon as he stops his ship, he would stand in front of Bulma and then aim at Goku with his weapon. "Stop there, Saiyan," Jaco would say. Goku would watch Jaco with such a sinister expression that Jaco would be terrified, although he tried to hide it. "Jaco, what is going on?" Bulma would say, terrified. "This guy is a Saiyan, someone who invades planets in the name of Frieza," Jaco would say. "Wait, but if Shenlong said that Frieza destroyed his planet," Bulma would say. "That does not mean that this guy is a conqueror. He killed many people to take away their planets," Jaco would say. "Lower that thing and don't make me get in a bad mood," Goku would say. "Come on, Goku, if you tell yourself to call Goku," Jaco would say. "Tell the truth, and I'll be good to you. My name is Kakarot, and it is better that you lower that thing, because otherwise you will be hurt," Goku would say, seriously. Jaco would escape a shot due to his nerves, and Goku would hold the attack in his hand as if nothing, demonstrating his great power. "Jaco, I think we're in trouble," Bulma would say. "I will not hurt them if they help me," Goku would say. "Helping you? You are the enemy," disconcerted Jaco would say. "Now my enemy is Frieza." Goku, after sighing, decided to tell Bulma and Jaco the truth about his past and the role of the Saiyans in Frieza's conquests. He would tell them about his life as a Saiyan warrior and how the news of the destruction of his planet led him to look for the Dragon Balls. Bulma, although surprised by the story, decided to help Goku find a solution. "Okay, we will help you," Bulma would say. Really? Of course, he seems to be a good guy, only he is wrong, Bulma would say. Jaco, you can't be serious. This guy is a murderer, Jaco would say. Hey, have more respect, Goku would say. Don't you want to see Frieza fall? Meanwhile, the Special Forces Jinyu sent by Frieza would arrive on Earth and face Goku. It can't be, Jaco would say, terrified to find himself behind Bulma. Hey, don't hide behind me, Bulma would say. They are the Special Forces Jinyu, the strongest soldiers after Frieza, Jaco would say. What are they doing on Earth? Goku would ask. That's what we came to ask you, Captain Jinyu would say. We suspect that you want to betray Frieza. I found out that Frieza eliminated the planet Vegeta, so I will eliminate it with my own hands, Goku would say. The 5 members of the Special Forces Jinyu would observe each other and then begin to laugh. You have to be kidding. You're just a Saiyan, Raccoon would say. To be a good guy, you're not funny at all, Geese would say. I don't think it is worth wasting time. Let's take his life, Captain Jinyu would say. The 4 members of the Special Forces Jinyu would launch towards Goku. They would attack him with all their strength, although it wouldn't be that easy. The soldiers would be surprised to discover that Goku was not only able to dodge their attacks, but he could also easily catch their energy bursts. This guy is stronger than we expected, Geese would murmur. Goku, without showing aggression, turned to the soldiers. I have no desire to fight you. I'm just trying to rebuild my planet, Goku would say. Captain Jinyu, intrigued by Goku's attitude, decided to stop the fight and listen to what he had to say. After listening to Goku's story, the captain understood the seriousness of the situation. Frieza is not someone we would like to have problems with, Captain Jinyu would admit. But we don't want to interfere in matters that don't concern us either. If you plan to stop him, you won't be lucky. Nobody can defeat him. I don't care. I'll kill him with my own hands, Goku would say out loud. Goku's ki would begin to increase more and more due to the anger that ran through his body. Damn Frieza, Goku would think furiously. Hey, I asked you a question and you're going to answer me, Bulma would say. Remember to like and subscribe. Each of the radars of the members of the Special Forces Jinyu would explode. How can it be that it increases so much power just by getting angry? Captain Jinyu would wonder. The atmosphere was tense. You could see a really furious Goku. If you don't want me to kill you, get out of my way, Goku would say. Captain Jinyu, without hesitation, would throw everything at Goku. He would arrive with a strong blow to his chest. But despite the power of the blow, Goku would only retreat a few meters, resisting the attack. I don't understand, Captain Jinyu would say. I am Kakarot, and I will revive my planet, whatever it takes. Goku would say. Goku would expel all his ki. He would throw himself towards the 5, attacking them in a savage way. Goku, with an unbridled fury, would swing over the Special Forces Jinyu with an overwhelming speed of force. The members of the squad were overcome by the intensity of Goku's attacks, which would prove to be much more formidable than they had anticipated. Geese, Birder, Raycom, Gordo, and Captain Jinyu would try to coordinate their movements to stop Goku, but each attempt was in vain. Goku dodged his attacks easily and responded with quick and accurate blows. The earth trembled with each blow, and the sky lit up with flashes of energy. Bulma and Jaco observed the scene. They were stunned by the power that Goku was unleashing. Despite their concern for Goku's safety, they could not help but feel a strange admiration for his determination. Is this guy really fighting for his life? Impossible. I never thought that a Saiyan could be so formidable. I thought you had died with the planet Vegeta. I came because I felt a considerable energy. It seems that you have become stronger, Kakarot. Vegeta would answer, crossing his arms. I found out about the rumors about some magical spheres, but I see that you beat me. Vegeta would need your help to stop Frieza, but you do not have enough power. Goku would say. What did you say, insect? Vegeta would say. Vegeta would frown before the news, but before he could answer, the Special Forces Jinyu took advantage of the distraction and launched a coordinated attack against Goku. Enough, Goku would say when he exploded his ki. Goku would get tired of everyone, and from a blow to each one he would knock them down. Then only Captain Jinyu would remain. It cannot be. It was true that this subject is a prodigy. Vegeta would think carefully. I don't understand. How do you get so strong out of nowhere? Captain Jinyu would say, terrified. I am a prodigy Saiyan. It is in my nature, Goku would say seriously. What you don't understand is that even if you were prodigy, Frieza is also, Captain Jinyu would say. You will never beat him. Shut up, Goku would say. Kakarot, Captain Jinyu is right, Vegeta would say. Frieza has several transformations. He will not be a rival you can face. Hey, which side are you on? Goku would ask. On the side of reality, Vegeta would say. It would be better for you to train very hard if you want to fight him, because in this state, I assure you that you will not achieve it. Who is that handsome guy? Bulma would ask. Is Vegeta the prince of the planet of Vegeta? Jaco would say. Prince? Oh my God, it must be very important, Bulma would say. He is still a murderer, Jaco would say. I don't care what you say. Take your men and tell Frieza that I will go for him, Goku would say. You are an idiot. If I do that, he will kill me, Captain Jinyu would say when he put himself on guard. Captain Jinyu felt between the sword and the wall, but still he would take courage and throw himself with everything towards Goku. But the Saiyan would dodge the blow, responding with a big punch in his chest. Captain Jinyu would faint instantly. He defeated him with a single blow, Vegeta would say, disconcerted. You are an idiot, Goku would say. Kakarot, we have to kill them, Vegeta would say. It is not necessary. You have to send the message to Frieza, Goku would say. Idiot! If you face now alone, you will lose, Vegeta would say. Vegeta would launch a Kia attack towards Gordo, ending his life. Then he would jump on Geese, breaking his neck. But then he would attack with 2 attacks of Kia Rakan Rebirther. Vegeta, that's enough. At least leave one alive, Goku would say. No, make yourself stronger first, Vegeta would say. Vegeta would end up executing Captain Jinyu. Well, I didn't like them either, Goku would say. Meanwhile, in the depths of space, Frieza had detected the powerful energies on Earth and was on his way to the planet. Decided to crush any threat that got in his way when trying to communicate with the Jinyu Special Forces, he would realize that something had happened to them. It is not possible that Kakarot has won them. He is strong, but he can't against the Ginyu Special Forces. I guess I'll have to attend to him in person," Berry Blue would say. "Of course," Frieza would say. On Earth, Goku and Vegeta would be with Bulma and Jacko, planning the encounter against Frieza. "Hey, Dwarf, we're not allies," Vegeta would say. Annoying. "No, but we have a common enemy," Jacko would say. "The Galactic Police will be willing to forgive their crimes if they defeat Frieza." Kakarot, "It will be better if you prepare. Frieza will not be an easy rival," Vegeta would say. "I will defeat him. I will revive the planet Vegeta, and you will return to your crown," Goku would say, determined. "So don't worry," Goku would finish saying. Goku's victory over the Ginyu Special Forces would send a warning signal to Frieza. In the depths of space, Frieza watched the news with disbelief. He could not accept that a Saiyan had defeated his elite troops. However, instead of focusing on the surprise, the fury burned in his being. Frieza was determined to teach Goku the true meaning of power. That bastard Kakarot. I thought I would keep him alive for his power, but I took away the Ginyu Special Forces. Furious, Frieza would say. "That kind of soldier is not easy to get," Berry Blue would say. "I have it very clear," Frieza would say. "I'm going to kill Kakarot for that." On Earth, Goku faced a crucial situation. Prepare for the inevitable confrontation with Frieza. Bulma and Jacko, despite their reservations, would support the plan to stop the space tyrant and save the planet. "I think I better get out of here," Vegeta would say. "Why?" Goku would say, confused. "I don't want to be on Earth when Frieza destroys it," Vegeta would say. Vegeta would leave there. "Cowardly bastard! Then do not claim to be the king of the planet," Goku would say. "So what are you going to do?" Bulma would say. "I'll stay training for a while and then defeat Frieza. I hope no one has problems with that," Goku would say. "For me, it's fine," Bulma would say. "Wow, I don't know if that's safe," Jacko would say. "Then you can fight against Frieza," Goku would say. Goku would retire to a remote place to train intensively, taking advantage of the maximum every second. For days, Goku trained, exceeding his limits in a desperate attempt to increase his strength. Bulma, using the advanced technology of the Galactic Police that Jacko had provided him with, provided equipment and resources to optimize his training. Jacko, for his part, kept vigilance in space, warning them of any sign of Frieza's arrival. "Wow, he set up an augmented gravity room," Goku would say, disconcerted. "That's right, Krillin has used it for martial arts tournaments, although he has only done it with 10 times the augmented gravity," Bulma would say. "I understand that that is the amount of your..." Bulma would say, "I understand that that is the amount of your planet." "Well, yes, everything is very light here. It even makes me feel a little clumsy when I move," Goku would say. "This will be good for me. If you need anything, just ask me," Bulma would say. "Hey, why do you help me so much? I'm supposed to be a conqueror and a race killer," Goku would say. Bulma would emit a slight smile. "I don't know. I feel like we've met before," Bulma would say when retiring. "What's wrong with him?" Goku would say, confused. Meanwhile, the news of the defeat of the Ginyu Special Forces would reach the ears of others of the Galactic Patrol, turning on the alarms in the face of a possible multiversal war. Some, fearful of the threat posed by Frieza, wondered if Goku could really have a chance. Others, more skeptical, would see the situation as a temporary distraction before Frieza annihilated Goku. Jocko reported on Goku. He communicated by radio with his superiors. "Jocko, are you sure about this?" the general of the Galactic Patrol would say. "In the worst case, that Kakarot guy will die. The Ginyu Special Forces have already died, so whatever happens, we'll win," Jocko would say. "Just try to be careful. If that Kakarot beats Frieza, it's because he turns out to be stronger, and that will be a more powerful enemy," the general would say. "But on the way, the troops will be worn out. That's why I say it's time to attack all the troops in the universe," Jocko would say. The general would remain silent for a moment while meditating what to do. "We will study it," the general would say when he hung up the call. Finally, the wait would end. One day, Jocko received a signal on his detection devices. Frieza was approaching, and he was not alone. Next to him, several of his most powerful soldiers accompanied the Emperor. Goku, Bulma, and Jocko gathered, ready for the battle that would change the fate of the Earth. The sky was full of electricity while Frieza's ships descended slowly to the ground. Frieza, with his initial form, descended majestically from his ship. His imposing presence created an oppressive atmosphere. Goku would place himself in combat position, ready to face the tyrant. "I can't believe it. You betrayed me," Frieza would say. "So you are the monkey who dared to defeat my special forces, Ginyu. I can't believe I named you as one of them. This was a mistake," Frieza would say with a disdainful smile. "Enough talk, Frieza. It's time for you to pay for your crimes," Goku would scream as he raised his ki. "I know you were the one who destroyed the planet Vegeta, and not an asteroid. I see you found out the truth," Frieza would say. "The truth is that the Saiyans are wild beings. I didn't want them alive. I made an exception with you for your power, but it was a serious mistake." The soldiers were around Frieza, ready to attack Goku. Jocko and Bulma were in a safe place, watching everything from afar. "Hey, go help! You can fight with the rest," Bulma would say. "My crazy," Jocko would say. The battle would begin with an explosion of speed and energy. Goku and Frieza would throw themselves at each other. Both would begin to struggle, showing their strength. "You can't have the same strength as me," furious Frieza would say. Although he was not afraid, Frieza's troops were ready to join the fight and tie the fight. But a great explosion of ki would stop them. Vegeta had just arrived to put the Frieza soldiers on the line and prevent them from intervening in the fight. "Hey, it's Prince Vegeta," one of the amazed soldiers would say. "This fight is not yours, so get out of here," Vegeta would say. "Vegeta, I'm glad you came," Goku would say. "Just take care of Frieza," Vegeta would say. Vegeta would begin to attack Frieza's soldiers, giving ground to Goku. Frieza, although initially surprised by Goku's improvement in power, was ready to show that this was not all his true power. Frieza would move away from Goku and begin to raise his ki. "I guess I'll have to be more serious with you," Frieza would say. "Go ahead. I want to see that you transform like your father," Goku would say, confident. Frieza would use his second form, intimidating Goku with his size. "He really is just like his father," Goku would think. "It can't be. He's a monster," Vegeta, disconcerted, would say. "Hey, what kind of guy is that? He looks like a demon," Bulma would say. "He's literally a cold demon," Jocko would say. "That's why nobody messes with him." Frieza would show great power and would be able to fight Goku with great freedom. Despite the power of the Saiyan, Goku had serious problems to sustain the fight. Frieza's attacks were devastating and powerful. Goku, despite his efforts, would find himself in a challenging situation against Frieza's second form. The Emperor of Space's attacks were fast and forceful, testing Goku's resistance. "Damn, I should have listened to my father when he told me that Frieza was very strong in his second form," Goku would think. Vegeta, while fighting Frieza's forces, watched the fight from afar. His proud Saiyan would encourage him to intervene, but he would remember Goku's words and decide to condemn himself, letting Goku face the tyrant alone. "Damn, I'm too far from both. I can't do anything," Vegeta would say. Vegeta would finish off all the soldiers present and then destroy Frieza's ship. "Hey, what are you doing?" Frieza would say. Frieza would throw a ki attack at Vegeta, but Goku would arrive in time. With a blow, he would deflect the attack, although Goku would be left with a sore arm. "Damn, that was very strong," Goku would say. "Do you think Goku can beat him?" Bulma would ask Jocko. "I'm not sure. Frieza is incredibly powerful in his second form, but if there is someone who can beat him, that is Kakarot," Jocko would answer. The fight continued to intensify, with Goku skillfully dodging Frieza's attacks, but without finding an opportunity to counterattack. Frieza, on the other hand, was having fun watching the fight unequally. "I'll give you credit, Kakarot. You are more resistant than I thought, but that will not change the result of this fight," Frieza would say arrogantly. "Now I will enjoy making you suffer for all the setbacks you have caused me." Goku, focused on his energy, would decide to take a step further. His muscles trembled as his power increased. "I will kill you," Goku would exclaim, enveloped in an intense golden aura. "What the hell?" Frieza would say, disconcerted. Goku's speed and strength would increase. Now he could follow Frieza's rhythm and counterattack more effectively. Goku would reach Frieza with a strong fist blow to his face, throwing Frieza to the ground and making him roll several meters. Then Goku would launch a rain of ki attacks on the evil Emperor. Frieza would cross his arms, resisting the attacks. "I could not believe that Goku achieved so much power in such a short time."
"Since you insist, Kakarot, let me show you my true form," Frieza would announce. The Emperor of Space would begin to transform again, adopting a more elegant and stylized form. His
power would increase enormously, creating overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. "This is my final form, Kakarot. Prepare for defeat," Frieza would say with confidence. "I can't believe it. It's worse than I thought," said terrified Vegeta. "His power is so great that you feel the pressure in the air. If I don't do something, Frieza will beat me," said Goku. Goku, now facing Frieza in his final form, knew that the real battle was just beginning. Using all his skills and techniques learned over the years, Goku would launch himself against Frieza with renewed determination. Although the difference in power was enormous, Frieza hardly needed to move to dodge Goku's attacks. His speed was formidable, and he hardly tried to block the attacks. At one point, Frieza, with his tail attached to Goku's neck, would lift him from the ground while suffocating him. "Wow, I see you're not as confident as before," said Frieza subtly. "Did you think you could defeat me? And that ended your own grave."
Before we start, we need your like so that YouTube can continue to recommend our videos and to encourage us to bring even more stories and adjust our scripts and narrations. That said, let's watch the video. Frieza would hit Goku's stomach over and over again. Goku screamed desperately while the others watched terrified. "I can't believe it. We're done," said Bulma. "That's why I told you not to help him," said Jocko. "Shut up, you agreed too," said Bulma. "I have to do something, even if it's to generate a distraction," thought Vegeta. Vegeta would analyze how to enter combat, but despite this, he couldn't find any opening. At one point, Frieza would turn his face, looking at Vegeta in a challenging way. "Wow, don't tell me you want to help your boyfriend," said Frieza, making fun of Vegeta. "Damn it. I'm just going to make him kill me," thought Vegeta. In that distraction, Goku would bite Frieza's tail. The evil Emperor would scream in pain and would be forced to release Goku. Thanks to this, Goku would distance himself. "Damn it, I couldn't wait for anything more than a damn wild Saiyan," said Frieza. "I just hope you didn't hit me with rage or some disease." Frieza would call Goku with determination. "I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I swear I'll eliminate you for all the Saiyans you eliminated." Goku would begin to increase his ki in a wild way. Vegeta saw everything disconcerted. "Is he the legendary Super Saiyan?" said Vegeta, surprised. Everything would develop on the planet Vegeta. Bardock and Jean were the kings of the Saiyans due to an internal war. Even so, the planet would continue to be called Vegeta. Bardock and Jean at that time would only have their son Raditz, but Jean was pregnant with Goku. Frieza's ears would hear the rumor that a legendary Saiyan would be born. "Great Frieza, do you really believe that story?" asked Berry Blue. "Many years ago, one of my ancestors arrived badly wounded. He warned that we should be careful with the Super Saiyan. Others say he said legendary Saiyan and have even spoken of the Saiyan God," said Frieza. "According to some prophets, a similar warrior would be born this year, so I will not take risks." "I understand.
So, will the planet Vegeta disappear? Asked Berry Blue. No, that would be a lot of blood, said Frieza. We better just kill the children who were born this year. Sure, that would be less scandalous, said Berry Blue. Frieza would call the Special Forces Ginyu. He would give them the order to kill all the children who were born that year. At that time, Jean would be about to give birth, and they would name him Kakarot. He is a very strong and healthy child. He will be a great warrior, said one of the soldiers. Kakarot, my child, said Jean. Raditz would enter Jean's room. He would be really terrified. Son, what's going on? Asked King Bardock. Dad, the Special Forces are killing all the children who were born this year, said Raditz. You cannot be serious, said Bardock, disconcerted. Nobody is going to touch my Kakarot, said Jean, worried. Raditz, where did you get that information? Asked King Bardock. One of the soldiers just told me. They killed his son, and he heard them talking about it. It seems that everything is by order of Frieza, said Raditz. Damn, the Special Forces Ginyu are very powerful, said Bardock. We have to hide Kakarot. I think Frieza is not aware of his existence, said Jean. We have to get him out of the planet as soon as possible. I'll take him, said Raditz. If we do not, they will kill him, said Raditz. Bardock would be thoughtful for a moment. I was trying to make the wisest decision. If someone takes Kakarot, it would attract a lot of attention, said Bardock. Raditz, your fighting power is very low compared to adults. I'll take care of it. No, I cannot separate from my son, said Jean. Bardock, you cannot be serious. If Kakarot leaves, I'll go with him. What would I explain to Frieza? He knows about your existence, said Bardock. Also, it would not take long to know that you were pregnant. Say that Kakarot was born dead, said Raditz. In a few years, we will return and they will not know that it's about him. But, said Jean in tears, it's the best. It hurts me to have to get to this point, but we have no choice, said Bardock. Maybe even the Saiyan of the prophecy. Dad, don't tell me you believe in those stories, said Raditz. I would generally not believe it, but if Frieza is taking this measure, it must be for something serious, said Bardock. Raditz would take Goku in his arms and go in search of an individual ship. Don't worry, Kakarot. I will protect you, said Raditz. Please take care of him, said Jean. I imagine none of you will say a single word, right? Kakarot? Said Bardock seriously. No, of course not, said one of the soldiers. All those present would be terrified by the words of Bardock and would not say anything. Minutes later, we see Raditz hiding Kakarot between some blankets. He would take an individual ship and go straight to Earth. A few days would pass while Raditz and Goku remained in animated suspension inside the ship. Meanwhile, the Special Forces Ginyu would finish killing all the children born that year and the pregnant women. The Saiyans were really furious, but they knew they had no chance against Frieza, so they could not reveal themselves. Damn, this guy is a demon, said Bardock. Bardock, I want to go to Earth. I have to know how my son is, said Jean. Understand it. If you get out of here, Frieza will suspect, said Bardock. But it's about my son, said Jean in tears. Please do not make this more difficult, said Bardock. Just let a few years pass and surely Raditz will return with Kakarot. Raditz and Goku would arrive on Earth. Raditz would wake up and find a place to take care of Goku. 5 years would pass. Raditz was now an adult and would train Goku. Only to avoid problems, he would tell him that his name was Goku and not Kakarot, all so that no one would relate him to his real year of birth. Goku, from an early age, would demonstrate great power. He had, even with his short age, surpassed the power of Raditz. Brother, when will I meet my parents? Goku would ask. I don't know, brother. I don't want anything to happen to you. The older you are, the less you will attract attention, Raditz would say. But I'm already 5 years old. I can perfectly say I'm 6, Goku would say. No, not yet. Let's wait another year, Raditz would say. Little Goku would hit Raditz in the face, throwing him several meters. It's enough. Last year you told me the same thing, Goku would say. I want to meet my parents. I'm tired of you telling me about them. Raditz would clean the blood from his lip. Goku's strength and determination would make him understand that he was ready. Okay, we'll go to the beautiful planet, Raditz would say, but you have to promise me something. Of course, just tell me. For nothing in the world, no one has to know that you are the son of the kings, Raditz would say. No one can know that you are a prince. But that is not fair. I want to be with my parents, Goku would say. I know, but the kings are recognized people just like me. That is not fair. You can show off that you are a prince. Goku would turn around and hit Raditz in the back.
Get it, Goku. All I care about is your well-being, Raditz would say. Yes, I know, Goku would say. But how will we return in that ship? You said that only one enters. Do not worry, I have a plan, Raditz would say. Raditz and Goku would fly straight to the Capsule Corporation, where they would meet Bulma. It cannot be. You came back, Bulma would say on guard. Hey, do you remember when I defeated the Red Patrol? Raditz would ask. Yes, I remember, but you almost kill us all, Bulma would say. Necessary risks, Raditz would say. Listen, I come to ask you a favor. Hey, is that your son? Of course not. I'm his brother. And shut up, Goku would say in a bad mood. Heavens, it shows that they are family. Both have the same character, Bulma would say. Okay, what do you want? I want you to build a spaceship, Raditz would say. A spaceship? Are you crazy? I do not know how to do that, Bulma would say. You are smart. You invent things. You should know how to do it, Raditz would say, annoying. Well, no. It may be very smart, but that does not mean that it can build a spaceship, Bulma would say. Raditz would take a remote control and call his ship. Bulma would show it to him. Here, you have a reference. And make it fast, Raditz would say. Is that really a ship? Bulma would ask, bewildered. Of course, Raditz would say. It is only for one person and has an animated suspension system to be able to sleep throughout the trip. If you cannot do the last thing, make sure to leave it full of food, that it is large, and for 2 people. We want to travel comfortably. Raditz and Goku would leave there, leaving the ship to Bulma. Do you really want me to make a spaceship? Bulma would say to herself. Several days would pass. Goku and Raditz would return and appreciate the ship ready. He really did, Raditz would say, amazed. Of course. Did you think I could not? Bulma would say, proud. Do not believe the great thing. With that, you already paid the favor I did to you, Raditz would say. Heavens, how ungrateful, Bulma would say. Raditz and Goku would enter the ship, and Bulma would give them the indications. According to the data of your ship, I was able to expand the same map of the galaxy, so it is complete. You can go to the same planets that could go before, even update the database. What's more, update its use, and it will be easier to operate. Perfect. You can go now, Raditz would say. Prepotent. Bulma would leave the ship. Raditz and Goku would embark on a return trip to planet Vegeta. How good! I'm going to meet my parents, Goku would say, happy. Goku, remember, you cannot make yourself call Kakarot, but Goku. It's for your safety, Raditz would say. Yes, I understand, Goku would say. And another thing, be careful with showing your powers, Raditz would say.
He understands that we fled from planet Vegeta because Frieza feared a very powerful Saiyan, and you are too strong for your age. Yes, you always tell me the same. I will resist, Goku would say. In a matter of days, both would arrive on planet Vegeta. Wow, this planet is really heavier, Goku would say. It is the increased gravity. That is why I insisted that you carry training weight, Raditz would say. Wow, that really helped me, Goku would say. Goku would start jumping to get used to it. I don't think it's very difficult. It will sit well for me, Goku would say. Hours later, Bartok and Jean would be in a private room. They were waiting for Raditz to arrive with Goku. Minutes later, both brothers would enter. Jean would instantly recognize Goku. Kakarot, Jean would say in tears and would run for her son. Goku would hide behind Raditz since he would give him a little impression. Kakarot, it's me, your mother. Jean would say, wait, give him a little space. Let him trust you, Bartok would say. Come on, Goku. They're our parents. Don't be afraid, Raditz would say. Why do you call him Goku? Jean would ask. It's just for safety. I don't want anything from his past to remain that draws the attention of his past, Raditz would say. Although his hair is the same as mine, Bartok would say. I think we can handle that. Anyway, there would be no problem if it is known that he is your son, Raditz would say. Although, if you don't know it, it is better. Goku would approach his parents. He would hug them tightly as he began to cry. My child, you don't know how much I missed you, Jean would say. The four would spend a moment as a family trying to recover the lost time. Bartok would use his radar on Goku. He would notice that his fighting power was 1500. It can be, Bartok would say, amazed. Bartok would read Raditz's fighting power, and this would have 1400. Raditz, Kakarot's fighting power, Bartok would say. Goku, Raditz would say. But yes, he is stronger than me. Then Frieza's fear was true, Bartok would think. Suddenly, several of Bartok's soldiers would enter to announce Frieza's arrival. It cannot be, right now. Furious, Bartok would say. Do you think it's a coincidence? Jean would ask. I don't know, Bartok would say. Children, don't leave here for anything in the world. I don't want Frieza to see Kakarot. Father, please get used to telling Goku, Raditz would say. Yes, I know. It's hard for me to do it. I always remembered him as Kakarot. Bartok and Jean would go out to receive the evil emperor. Frieza would show himself guarded by his men. King Bartok, Queen Jean, a pleasure to see you again, Frieza would say, with a ruthless smile. Apparently, he was about to carry out his magnificent plan. Frieza would have a meeting with Bartok and Jean on issues of the planet Vegeta and the conquest of the planets. Bartok was quite calm, but the nervousness in Jean was too obvious. Queen Jean, are you okay? Frieza would ask. I noticed something altered. Is that? No, nothing. Everything is fine, Jean would say, stammering to speak. Damn it, the issue with Kakarot must make her nervous, Bartok would think. Excuse her, she's in her daze, Bartok would say. Bartok, Jean would say, annoying. Bartok would dodge the look to avoid a problem. Wow, I didn't need to know that, Frieza would say, somewhat uncomfortable. I guess I have already said everything I have to say. I hope you know how to meet my demands. Of course, Grand Frieza, Bartok would say. Goku would be with Raditz traveling the planet Vegeta. Wow, everyone here has a tail, Goku would say, amazed. Just remember not to call attention, and your name is no longer Kakarot, it's Goku, Raditz would say. Yes, I understand. I don't need you to tell me every now and then, Goku would say. At one point, they would both cross with Nappa. Raditz would get nervous already because he knew what he was like. "Damn! Right now he's good for nothing," Raditz would say. "Raditz, what are you eating?" Nappa would say with a mocking expression. "What do you want?" Raditz would ask. "Hey, is that your son? I have hair like your father, King Bartok." Goku would put a sinister expression.
Damn, I didn't think it was so obvious, Raditz would think. "Yes, it's my son. His name is Goku," Raditz would say seriously. "With your permission, I have to go." "Wait, not so soon," Nappa would say. "Who is his mother and how old is he?" "Hey, you're asking too many questions," Raditz would say. Some Saiyans would observe the conversation. Nappa drew a lot of attention. "I think you know what I mean," Nappa would say in a low voice. "I think we'd better talk somewhere else," Raditz would say. Raditz and Goku would go with Nappa to an area without Saiyans to be able to talk in peace. "Come on, tell me the truth. Your son should die at his age," Nappa would say. "Of course not. He was born a year earlier," Raditz would say. "Do not lie. If Frieza finds out, it will not end," Nappa would say. "If he was born in the year that Frieza ordered the execution, he has to die. You are not the one to decide who lives and who does not," Goku would say seriously. "Goku, calm down," Raditz would say. "Wow, the dwarf thinks he's very brave," Nappa would say. "That you are the son of a prince does not give you the right to talk to me like that." "Hey, leave him alone," Raditz would say. Nappa would push Raditz with a simple movement. Nappa was much stronger than him. "Brother," Goku would say. "Brother," Nappa would say. "It cannot be. It has to be Kakarot, the child who supposedly died." "Do not dare say a single word," Raditz would say. "Of course not," Nappa would say. "If Frieza did it, he would kill us. Better just kill this brat." Raditz would throw everything at Nappa, but Nappa would reject it with a single kick. Goku would start to get upset about how he messed with his brother. "And I do not bother him. Now you will see," Nappa would say. Nappa would throw a punch, but Goku would hold it as if nothing. "It is not true," Nappa, terrified, would say. Goku's ki would begin to increase surprisingly. Nappa's tracker would mark 20,000 fighting power like Raditz's tracker. "You will not tell anyone," Goku would say when he bent Nappa's wrist. "Disgusting worm," Nappa would say. Nappa would manage to free himself from the grip of little Goku. "Now you will see," Nappa would say when he opened his mouth and threw a great ray of ki. Goku would simply move to one side, dodging the attack, and Nappa would arrive with a kick. Nappa would be bent. He could hardly breathe. "Damn dwarf," Nappa would say, disconcerted. "Stay still if you do not want me to kill you," Goku would say. "Goku, do not do it. You will get us in trouble," Raditz would say. Nappa, without accepting the defeat on the part of a child, would throw himself again to Goku. He would attack him with a rain of blows at high speed, but Goku would dodge them all. Then Goku would jump and connect a kick to his neck. Nappa would be fired away, he would fall to the ground and could no longer move. "Holy heaven! I can't believe it," Raditz would say. Raditz would go for Nappa. He would realize that he was lifeless. "Goku, Nappa is dead," Raditz would say. "Of course, I broke his neck," Goku would say. "And that I told you not to call attention," furious Raditz would say. "I know, but he discovered me. I could not leave him alive," Goku would say. "Now we will have to get rid of him," Raditz would say. Goku and Raditz would take Nappa's body away, and with a ki attack, they would disintegrate it completely.
He was one of the strongest warriors on planet Vegeta. I hope his disappearance doesn't attract attention, Raditz would say. I'm sorry, brother, Goku would say sadly. It's okay, but I think we'll have to leave the planet, Raditz would say. For these things I wanted you to wait. You attract a lot of attention being a child. We will return in the future. Yes, I know, Goku would say. Goku and Raditz would go to the palace to see their parents. Jean looked especially happy, but Raditz should tell what happened. It cannot be that Nappa has died now, Bardock would say. Just that Frieza plans to attack the Galactic Patrol. What are you talking about? Raditz would ask. Frieza wants to reinforce his army. He is needing all the Saiyans capable of fighting to defeat the Galactic Patrol, Bardock would say. Nappa was a key piece. I'm sorry, we'll go back to Earth, Raditz would say. No, that cannot be, Jean would say. Frieza has the Earth as a goal. Demons, Raditz would say. I'm sorry, I did not want to cause problems, Goku would say. Son, don't worry. None of this is your fault, Jean would say. I think it would be best for Kakarot to go to the planet Yadrat, Bardock would say. Why that planet? Raditz would ask. Because Frieza ruled it out. He doesn't care. So it will be the last place where he sees it, Bardock would say. It makes me very sad that you go, but at least I know you'll be fine. You are a very strong boy, Jean would say. Well, Goku would say. Okay, Goku, we'll go, Raditz would say. Raditz, you stay, Bardock would say. You're not serious, Raditz would say. Frieza was very demanding to take the largest number of soldiers, and you're my son. Now that Nappa is not, I need you more than ever, Bardock would say. Besides, Kakarot can handle himself. He just saved your life. I'll be fine. I take the opportunity to train and become stronger to defeat Frieza, Goku would say. Kakarot, don't say that, Jean altered would say. In no way will I allow you to face Frieza. You would not have a chance, but I will be very strong. Look at the level I have since I was little, Goku would say. No, Frieza's a monster. Also, if you did, you would put us all in danger, Bardock would say. Kakarot, please stay on the planet Yadrat, and do your best. Do not even think about fighting Frieza. Yes, Dad, Goku would say. Bardock and Jean would approach Goku and hug him tightly. When you are an adult, you can come, and nobody will suspect, Jean would say. Please, son, take care, and promise to be a warrior, Bardock would say. Raditz would get a ship and say goodbye to Goku. Very well. It's time to say goodbye, Raditz would say. Brother, I'm going to miss you. Promise me you will visit me, Goku would say. I hope so, Raditz would say. And remember, your name is Goku, not Kakarot. Always keep it in mind. Goku would go on a direct trip to the planet Yadrat, where he would stay so not to attract attention. More than 10 years would pass. Goku was an adult. He had been well received by the Yadrats, and even was trained by them. On that planet, they taught him to use teleportation, and Goku would take care of protecting the Yadrats from the threats that came from other planets. One day, Goku would feel 5 presences that would attract his attention. They were the Special Forces Ginyu. Goku would manage to recognize the ships. They were identical to the ones he used to get to that planet. The Special Forces Ginyu would begin to travel the planet Yadrat in a threatening way. Goku was hidden. He did not want to attract his attention. Goku, remember to lower your ki, and if he finds you, you will attract attention.
A Yandrat who was with him would say, Okay, but don't think I'll stay watching if they try something, Goku would say. The Special Forces Jinyu would be received by the planet's governor. Can we help you with anything? The governor would ask. You must be the leader here. Captain Jinyu would say. Yes, it's me, the governor would say seriously. We come to claim this planet as property of the great Frieza, unless they oppose. Captain Jinyu would say. What are you talking about? We will not give them this planet for anything in the world, the governor would say. I think we'll have to teach you a lesson, Captain Jinyu would say. Captain Jinyu would throw a ray of ki at him, but Goku would appear with the teleportation and block the attack, just in time. King Bardock? Jinyu would ask, confused. No, it just looks like it. He looks very young, Geese would say. Don't you dare touch anyone on this planet, Goku would say seriously. You must be familiar with the royalty, which surprises me, because we have no records of him, Vortar would say. Tell me, where are you from? Jinyu would ask. Damn, the resemblance to my father does not allow me to go unnoticed, Goku would think. That's not your problem. I don't want you to touch any of the inhabitants of this planet, or they'll see them with me, Goku would say. I think this ape wants us to teach him a lesson, Gord would say. The Jadras would begin to move away. Goku was ready to fight. Let's see your fighting power, Captain Jinyu would say. Captain Jinyu would be disconcerted. Goku only had 5,000 fighting power. Bah, it's strong to be a Saiyan, but it's nothing for us, Captain Jinyu would say. Rickham, take care of him. Rickham would stand in front of Goku. He would observe him in a threatening way. Very well, dwarf. Do you want me to kill you fast, or do you want me to kill you slowly? Rickham would say. Just try it, Goku would say, confident. Rickham would throw a fist at Goku, but he would hold his wrist. What? Rickham would say, amazed. What's up? Weren't you going to kill me? Goku would ask. Captain Jinyu, what's up? Geese would ask. You seem to be one of those guys who knows how to hide his ki, Jinyu would say seriously. Goku would release Rickham, but he would be annoyed. Rickham would launch several attacks at Goku. The Saiyan would dodge each of his attacks with great agility. At one point, Goku would punch Rickham in the stomach. He would be bent while coughing blood. All the radars would be activated and explode. It can't be, Jinyu would say. Surely he raised his fighting power, and that's why the radars exploded, Geese would say. Rickham couldn't move. He was seriously injured. I'll catch up with you, Goku would say, when he kicked him. Rickham would say goodbye far away, reaching Jinyu's feet. I'm waiting for me to be killed quickly, as his friend boasted. Goku would say, making fun of everyone. Hey, do you think you're funny? Geese would ask, annoyed. Geese, wait. He would try to stop Captain Jinyu. Geese would throw everything at Goku, but the moment he attacked him, he would disappear. Geese would not see Goku anywhere. Suddenly, Goku would appear behind Geese. He would connect a knee in his nape, sending him away. It's fast, Ginyu would say when he witnessed Goku's strength and super speed. None of this seemed good to him. How could a Saiyan be so strong and fast? Jinyu's special forces were bewildered by Goku's power. They didn't expect a Saiyan to be so powerful. None of the members would dare to approach him, except Jinyu. Captain Jinyu, be careful, Border would say. Don't worry, I'll take care of him, Jinyu would say. Jinyu would raise his foot to the maximum and throw everything at Goku. He would reach Goku's face with a punch. He would only step back a few meters. Not bad, Goku would say. Goku would hit Jinyu's face.
Ginyu would say goodbye far away and could barely move. "Damn, that hurt," Ginyu would say. "Mine is harder," Goku would say when he showed his fist. "Fatty, now," Ginyu would say. Fatty would use his paralysis on Goku. He couldn't move. "What the hell?" Goku would say, disconcerted. "Now I want to see if you can escape this," Ginyu would say. Ginyu would throw everything at Goku. He would attack him with a rain of punches, one after the other, without giving him any chance. Goku couldn't answer, so he would receive all the punches directly. Finally, Ginyu would throw Goku far away with a decisive blow. "Goku, this is presumptuous," Ginyu would say. "Not at all. We are the Special Forces, Ginyu," Goku would rise. He would reach Jinyu's forehead, but before he could attack him, Goku would be paralyzed again. "Did you want to?" Ginyu would say. "So all that is for that four-eyed dwarf?" Goku would say. "Now you will see," Goku would scream, raising his ki beyond what everyone could imagine. The ground would tremble under him, and Fatty's mental control would be ineffective. "It's not true," Fatty would say. "Fatty, don't let him be free," Ginyu would say, terrified. "I can't do it. He has a lot of resistance to be able to paralyze him," Fatty would say. Goku would pass aside of Ginyu at high speed. He would reach Fatty, and with a simple kick, he would leave him seriously injured. Fatty would leave far away as if he were a ball. In the air, Goku would throw a ball of ki, completely disintegrating Fatty. "Annoying dwarf," Goku would say. "It can't be. It's fast. Too fast," Ginyu would say. Goku would begin to raise his ki even more. He was really furious. He would reach Fatty and pierce his stomach from side to side. "Fatty," Ginyu would say. Goku would throw 2 attacks of ki, one for Geese and one for Risum, killing both in the act. Only Ginyu would remain. "Please forgive me. I swear I didn't tell Grand Frieza anything," Ginyu would say. "What makes you think I'm going to believe you?" Goku would say seriously. "Please, it's the truth. I won't tell him anything," Ginyu would say. Goku would be thoughtful for a few seconds, although he really didn't believe him. "Change," Ginyu would scream and throw his body change technique. Goku would disappear and reappear behind Ginyu. "It's not true," Ginyu would say. "Do you think I'm stupid?" Goku would say. "I knew you were planning something. You're a damn coward." Ginyu would try to run away, but Goku would catch him instantly. At that moment, Goku would kick him with great force, throwing him to the ground. Ginyu would fall to the ground seriously injured. He would try to stand up, but it would be difficult for him. "Come on, I didn't hit you so hard," Goku would say. "Just tell me you know about Frieza, and maybe I'll let you live." "About Frieza?" Captain Ginyu would say. "Are you deaf? Of course about Frieza. I want to know everything I can about him," Goku would say. "There's not much to say. He's the strongest being in the whole universe. I wouldn't even have a chance," Ginyu would say. "Compared to me, how strong is he?" Goku would ask. "Well," Ginyu would say, doubting his answer. "Speak," Goku would say. "I don't really know," Ginyu would say.
Nobody knows the true power of Frieza, but what little he has shown is to be incredibly strong, without the need to make an effort or train.
"It's all I know." "Wow, that sounds interesting," Goku would say, thinking about it. "Can I go now?" Ginyu would ask. "No," Goku would say. Goku would come to Ginyu with a kick that would throw him away and then jump on his neck, taking his life away in the act. The Yadrats would come to be aware of Goku's victory. "Goku, you defeated them," the governor would say. "Yes, I know he didn't want to draw attention, but his life was in danger," Goku would say. "I had no other choice. I knew we did the right thing by welcoming you," the governor would say. Although now we will be Frieza's target as soon as he finds out that his strongest men were finished. It doesn't matter. I will defeat him, Goku would say. Goku, you must be crazy. I don't think it's that easy, the governor would say. Frieza is not someone to underestimate. We'll see about that. For some reason, he wanted to exterminate all the children who were born in Nienyo because he feared me, Goku would say. It's time to go. Believe me, I appreciate everything you did for me. I promise to visit you. Goku would take his fingers to his forehead. He would be looking for his family's key. Come on, it shouldn't be that hard, Goku would say. After a few seconds, he would be able to feel Bardock's key. That way, he would use teleportation. Bardock and Ginny would be amazed by Goku's sudden appearance. Kakarot, Bardock would say. Son, it's you, Ginny would say. I can't believe it, you're so big. That's right, it's me. But you can call me Kakarot in front of everyone, Goku would say. Wait, what do you mean? Ginny would say, confused. I won't have to hide anymore that I'm Prince Saiyan. I came to defeat Frieza, Goku would say. You're sick. Do you want them to kill us all? Bardock would ask, furious. I just defeated the Special Forces, Ginyu, Goku would say. I don't care if you defeated who? Ginny would ask, realizing what his son really said. The Special Forces, Ginyu, Goku would say. Just you? Bardock would ask. Of course, and everyone together, Goku would say. But, Ginny would say, there's no turning back. Frieza wanted to conquer the planet Yadrock. He had no other option, Goku would say. Now I'll have to fight him. I've trained very hard, and the Yadrats taught me fantastic techniques. Son, it's really crazy, Ginny would say, terrified. Besides, Frieza's army has become very large. It has millions of soldiers. And, Goku would say, as if nothing, I don't understand. What do you need to face him? Ginny would ask. Bardock would suddenly go against Goku. He would arrive with a punch, but Goku would hold his attack only with the tip of his finger. You see? Goku would ask. Bardock would scream his ki to the maximum. He would attack Goku with a rain of consecutive blows, but he would stop all his attacks with just one finger. I told you, Goku would say. Heavens, Bardock would say, complaining about the pain in his hands. You really are strong. I can't believe it. Did you really get so strong with those Yadrats? Ginny would say. That's why I'm telling you. I will eliminate Frieza and all his army so that we can be free, Goku would say. By the way, where is Raditz? You'll see. Your brother, Ginny would say. Mom, what happened to him? Goku would ask. It's Frieza's right hand, Bardock would say. I don't believe you, Goku would say. Yes, he managed to get very strong, and like Zarbon and Dodoria died in the hands of the Galactic Patrol, Raditz managed to climb, Bardock would say. Remember that he is the prince. But is supposed that Frieza killed thousands of children who would be my age today? Goku would say, out of him. Goku would begin to explode his ki out of anger. He was really resentful with his brother. Kakarot, you can't get mad at him, Ginny would say. His position assures the lives of many Saiyans. It doesn't matter. Frieza ordered me to kill myself, and that's why I spent my childhood away from you, Goku would say. I don't care if it's about my brother. I won't forgive him. Goku would fly out of there, destroying the palace walls. Heavens, this will go wrong, Ginny would say. I just hope Kakarot doesn't do anything crazy, Bardock would say. Goku would announce among all the Saiyans as the son of Bardock and Ginny, declaring that he managed to escape before being killed by the Special Forces Ginyu, although the Saiyans did not believe him. The rumors would spread throughout the planet,
and would not delay in reaching Frieza's troops. Raditz would find out about the news. He could not believe it. "What is this no good for nothing?" Raditz would ask, out of him. "Raditz?" He would call Frieza when he arrived. "Great Frieza?" Raditz would say, terrified. "I imagine you are aware of the rumors of the planet Vegeta," Frieza would say. "I want you to investigate this matter immediately." Oh, of course, sir, but do you think it's worth it just for a mere rumor?" Raditz would ask. "Do you doubt my intelligence?" Frieza would say. "No, sir, I didn't mean that," Raditz would say. "Then go right now to Earth and eliminate that Saiyan. It is that or the planet Vegeta will disappear," Frieza would say. "I can't believe it. This is going from bad to worse," Raditz would think. Raditz would go as soon as possible to the planet Vegeta. He would see a revolution. Goku had had the opportunity to demonstrate his powers, so the Saiyan people fully trusted him to defeat Frieza. Raditz would meet Goku. I should give him the bad news. "Goku, look what you have done," Raditz would say. "Call me Kakarot. That's my name," Goku would say seriously. "You're an idiot," Raditz would scream out of him. "Frieza wants your head, or else he will destroy the entire planet." "Well, come on," Goku would say. "I'm not a coward like you. I will face it." "You're a complete idiot. You have no idea of the true power of Frieza," Raditz would say. The entire Saiyan people would begin to insult Raditz. They had a grudge against him for being Frieza's right hand. Raditz did not know how to contain them, so he would make an explosion of ki around him that would drive them away. "Wow, you've become very strong," Goku would say. "But don't think that's why I'll forgive you. Raditz, get out of here, and I'll tell Frieza that I killed you. Do it for the good of planet Vegeta," Raditz would say. "Patrons, I will beat you for enslaving us, you'll see." "Goku, you're a complete idiot," Raditz would say. Meanwhile, Frieza would realize that Raditz was taking too long. He would begin to watch the planet Vegeta without having news. Through the cameras, he would see Raditz talking to a Saiyan who had different clothes for everyone. "That hair, there is no doubt that it has to be related to Bardock," Frieza would say. "Did they hide a son?" "Grand Frieza, it was said that Bardock and Guinea's son had been born dead," Berry Blue would say. "They fooled me," Frieza would say. "And surely Raditz knew about this."
I guess I have no choice. Frieza would leave his ship. He would see the planet Vegeta with hatred. "I should have done this a long time ago," Frieza would say. Frieza would raise his finger and create a giant energy ball. Everyone on planet Vegeta would see the huge attack grow. "That is," Raditz would say disconcerted. Frieza would launch his attack. The giant energy ball would grow little by little. Raditz was really furious. He would raise his ki to the maximum and attack the giant energy ball without having a result. "It cannot be. It's all over," Raditz would say. "Everything I fought for to protect this planet for nothing?" Goku would stand in front of Raditz. He looked sure of himself. "Kakarot, there is nothing to do. I'm sorry," Raditz would say. "Do not worry. The princes do not complain." Goku would smile at Raditz. Now Goku was willing to give his life to try to stop Frieza's attack, to be able to save the planet Vegeta. Goku would fly to the sky to reach the ki ball. She would come and hold her. "He's stopping her," Saiyajin would say, amazed. Bardock and Jean would see everything from their planet. "Honey, what's going on?" Jean would ask. "I do not know if this is good or bad." "The ki ball stopped," Bardock would say. Goku, with great effort, would manage to expel the ki ball. This would be back to space. "Impossible,"
Frieza would say, amazed. What happened? Berry Blue would ask. That bastard Kakarot, Frieza would say, furious. Frieza would leave his ship and fly at full speed to the planet Vegeta. The Saiyans were celebrating Goku's victory. I cannot believe it, Raditz would say. Since when are you so strong? I told you to trust me, Goku would say. As soon as Frieza arrives, I will make him pay. Bardock and Jean would arrive. The whole town would pay their respects. Kakarot, did you do that? Jean would ask. Of course, I told you I'm strong, Goku would say. Son, I do not want to be pessimistic, but Frieza is coming, Bardock would say. It cannot be, Jean would say, terrified. You could see Frieza in the sky. Everyone, get out of here. It's very dangerous for you, Goku would say. The Saiyan would leave there. The kings and Raditz would also take distance. I trust my son, Jean would say. I just hope everything goes well, Bardock would say. Frieza would finally arrive. Everyone was silent for fear of having the evil emperor on their planet. I guess you must be Kakarot, Frieza would say. I guess you must be that Frieza, Goku would say. You're more of a dwarf than you say. Frieza would be furious by the comment. Wow, I do not know if you're brave or stupid, Frieza would say. I'm none of those two. I'm Kakarot, Goku would say. What? Frieza would say. It does not matter. If you were the one who deflected my attack, I should take care of you. Goku would break his neck. They were ready to fight. Come on. Of all the children you killed for this story of a supposed legendary Saiyan, I am the only one. So I have to be him. Goku would say. Shut up, Frieza would say. Frieza would throw a ki beam. This would hit Goku's peer. Goku would move his head backwards without losing his posture. The attack had hardly hurt him. It's not true, Frieza would say, disconcerted. Kakarot is really strong, Jean would say, amazed. Goku and Raditz would say, astonished. What do you think of the big thing, huh? Now you will see, Frieza would say, furious. Frieza would throw everything at Goku. He would reach him with a punch, but Goku would hold his hand as if nothing. Then Frieza would attack with his other hand, but Goku would also hold the attack. Both would be braided and begin to force. Frieza would have problems resisting Goku's force. It is not possible that this pimple is so strong, Frieza would think, attentive. Finally, both would take distance from each other. What did you think? Goku would ask. Wow, I think you're a little presumptuous. Frieza would say, now I will take care of you. Frieza would begin to raise his ki. He would break his armor while his size grew. I knew you could transform. This will be interesting, Goku would say. Goku would raise his ki to the maximum and throw himself towards Frieza. Both would begin to exchange blows with great power. The Saiyans were terrified by the great fight they witnessed. I can't believe it. Kakarot is really strong, Jean would say, amazed. Our son is the hope of the Saiyans, Bardock would say. In a moment, Frieza would hit Goku's face, but Goku would respond with the knee in his stomach. Then he would hold him by the horns and give him a knee in the face. In this way, he would break his horns. After a kick, he would throw him to the ground. Frieza would fall to the ground, creating a big well. Kakarot, finish him, Bardock would say. Ah! Goku would say to cast a great ray of energy where Frieza was. A great explosion would be generated which would shake the planet completely. Was he able to eliminate Frieza? Jean would ask. All the Saiyans were in silence, waiting to know the truth of Frieza. But from where Frieza was, a great explosion would be generated. Frieza would leave there in his last form. "What is that?" Jean would ask. "This real form of Frieza," Bardock would tell, terrified. "I can't believe it. It's the image of a demon," Raditz would say. Frieza would walk slowly towards Goku. His neck would be broken in a sign of his good condition. "That was something refreshing. I almost forget that I have this form," Frieza would say. "What is all this game?" Goku would say, terrified, to notice Frieza's power. "Oh, I see you didn't expect to know all my power," Frieza smiled. "Bastard, don't think you'll beat me just because you changed your appearance a bit," Goku would say. Goku knew it. Frieza's power was too much. He didn't even think he could beat him. Goku would put himself on guard, but Frieza would notice his nervousness. "Wow, this is where your nerves feel," Frieza smiled. Frieza would disappear. Goku would not see him anywhere. "Where did he go?" Goku would ask. Suddenly, Frieza would appear next to Goku. He would hit him hard in the stomach with a kick. Goku would be bent, almost unable to move. "I do not see you as excited as a moment ago," Frieza would say. "Little piece of garbage, I'm going to finish the job that my men couldn't do." Goku, furious, would attack Frieza. He would throw a rain of punches, but the evil Emperor would cover each of the attacks by moving from side to side. Then he would kick Goku in the chest, throwing him several meters away. Goku would roll several meters on the ground, but with a jump, he would regain his posture. "I see you have good reflexes," Frieza would smile. "Now I want you to dance." Frieza would point to the ground where Goku was. He would throw several rays of ki at his feet. Goku would jump from side to side, dodging the attacks. Then Goku would jump to the sky, but Frieza would reach him with a kick that would make him land. "Fool, didn't I tell you that we finished playing?" Frieza would say. "I can't believe it. He does whatever he wants with Kakarot," Raditz would say.
Jean would say. Goku would stand up again. He was really furious, but he was not willing to give up for anything in the world. "Damn, you'll see," Goku would say. Goku would raise his ki as much as he could. Frieza had no idea of Goku's power, since he could not read his ki. "It doesn't matter how much noise you make, someone like you will never beat me," Frieza would say. Goku would throw a great ray of surprise ki. Frieza would stretch his hand, and with one he would be able to resist it. "You are too weak to dare to make an attack of this type," Frieza would say, confident. Goku would increase his ki even more, increasing his attack power. Frieza would be surprised by the increase in power. He should use both hands to resist it. With an effort, he would reject it by throwing it to the ground. "Bastard, do you think you're very good?" Frieza would say, upset. Frieza would come with a knee in Goku, leaving him badly injured. Then he would roll his tail around Goku's neck and start hitting him over and over again in the stomach. "Dirty Saiyan, this is what you deserve for messing with me," Frieza would say. All the Saiyans would be alarmed at the torture that Frieza was doing to Goku. "It cannot be. If Kakarot dies, we will not have salvation," Bardock, furious, would say. "I cannot let my son die," Jane would say, in tears. Raditz would start to remember images of when Goku was little. He would not accept his death at all. Suddenly, Raditz would take impulse and raise his ki to the maximum. Without hesitation, he would throw everything towards Frieza. "Frieza!" Raditz would say, furious. "What?" Frieza would say, confused. Frieza would drop Goku to the ground and wait for Raditz. This would hit Frieza wildly, although all his attacks were caresses for him.
You have disappointed me. You were my most faithful man, I would say, Frieza. I cannot believe it. Raditz revealed himself to Frieza, I would say, a Saiyan. If he did it, we also have to do it, I would say, another Saiyan. Frieza of a slap would throw Raditz away. He would fall to the ground, really in pain. Raditz would spit one of his teeth. Damn, I would say, Raditz. Goku would stand up with difficulty. He almost fall again due to his serious condition. In the end, they turned out to be brothers, I would say, Frieza. The cry of the Saiyans would be heard from afar. Everyone would go against Frieza. Get out of here, I would say, terrified Goku. Each of the Saiyans would launch a key attack towards Frieza. A series of explosions would be generated on the evil Emperor. It doesn't matter, get out of here, I would say, Goku, alerting the others. After finishing Omereta, Frieza was as if nothing. Wow, what a pathetic way to resist dying, I would say, Frieza. Frieza of a key explosion would throw all the Saiyans away. The only one who would stand up was Raditz, the strongest of all. Kakarot, run away from here, I would say, Raditz. Goku would not move, he feared the worst. Disgusting worm, I would say, Frieza. Frieza would reach Raditz and stab his chest with his hand. Raditz, I would say, terrified Goku. Both Bardock and Jean could not believe it. Both would approach, but Frieza would throw Raditz at them. Both Bardock and Jean would crash against the ground. Raditz, I would say, Jean. Goku with the teleportation would reach Raditz. Brother, are you okay? I would say, Goku. Clearly not, I would say, Raditz. Idiot, you had to go. Raditz would lose blood from his mouth and die within seconds. Goku would take a few steps back. He could not believe it. His brother, who raised him as if he were his father, had died. Wow, what a tender image, I would say, Frieza. It will be very beautiful to see them all die together. Frieza would throw a key ball at them, but Goku would reject it with a simple attack. What? I would say, Frieza, disconcerted. How is it possible that he has rejected an attack like that? Goku would walk slowly towards Frieza. Kakarot, I would call Bardock. Get out of here, I would say, Goku, seriously. Kakarot, wait, I would say, Jean. Get out, Goku would scream, creating a great curtain of air. Jean, let's get out, I would say, Bardock. Bardock and Jean would leave there with Raditz's body. Frieza, I would say, Goku furious, while golden energy sprang up from his body. Don't think you scare me, I would say, Frieza, seriously. You were just a simple Saiyan, a little stronger than normal. Goku would scream, bursting his ki to the maximum. His hair would turn golden after becoming a Super Saiyan. What the hell? I would say, Frieza, confused. The legend is true, I would say, Bardock. Really, Kakarot, is that legendary Saiyan? I would say, Jean. Goku would walk slowly towards Frieza. He was determined to annihilate him at all costs. Frieza would throw a ki ray, but Goku would reject it instantly. It's not true, I would say, Frieza. Frieza would launch several more attacks, but Goku would dodge each one as if nothing. No, I don't believe it. That Saiyan is just a myth, I would say, Frieza, with a mixture of anger and fear. In an instant, Goku would reach Frieza with a strong fist blow that would leave him hunched over. Frieza would run out of breath for a moment, then Goku would burst a ki ball at close range, throwing Frieza away. Come on, Kakarot, kill him, I would say, Bardock. Before that, I'm going to make him suffer. I would say, Goku, seriously. Frieza, furious, would throw everything at Goku. But before connecting a fist blow, Goku would hold his wrist. Then Goku would begin to crush him with force. Frieza would scream in pain. His bones would ring. "You're going to have a bad time," Goku would say that he smiled and would tightly squeeze Frieza's wrist, causing the cold demon to scream in desperation. What could happen now that Goku has transformed into Super Saiyan? Will Goku defeat Frieza? And also, could Goku be able to revive Raditz? We will know all that in the next part of this theory. If you liked the compilation movie, remember that if you want to see more parts, other movies, and more compilations, this video has to reach 150 likes, many comments, and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next part!